Good evening students, welcome to my YouTube channel Prabhu's Education Hub. Today I am going to teach polynomial of 10th standard. Dear students, you already studied in 9th standard about polynomials. So let us recapitulate what you have studied in your previous class. What is polynomial? It's an algebraic expression with many terms. I will not go deep into that. Okay. Now, what is polynomial? It's an algebraic expression with many terms. See, the answer lies in the question only. What is polynomial? What is polynomial? Split this word. Poly. Poly means many. Nomial means terms. What is polynomial? Algebraic expression with many terms. Yeah. What is the standard form of polynomial? P of x. So analyze this. What is polynomial? Algebraic expression with many terms. Poly means many, nomial means terms. So it's an algebraic expression. What is the standard form of a algebraic expression or polynomial? P of x is equal to an x to the power of n, a1 x to the power of n minus 1 plus a2 x to the power of n minus 2 keeps on going up to nth term. Keeps on going up to a naught x to the power of 0. The power of x goes on decreasing. Please note it. Very, very important. What is that? Polynomial in x, p of x, where power of x goes on decreasing from n to x to the power of 0. What is x to the power of 0? 1. Now, I'll arrange this. Polynomial. What are we going to study in this? We are going to study mainly about quadratic polynomial. I can recapitulate. Polynomials are classified, mainly broadly classified into two types. Based on terms, based on degree. Based on terms, polynomials are classified into how many types? Monomial. You have studied in our lower class. Monomial, binomial, trinomial, dear student, it's very easy. See, what is monomial? Ask a question. Answer is there in question only. Mono means one. Monomial means term. Monomial is an algebraic expression with one term. Binomial is an algebraic expression with two terms. Trinomial is algebraic expression with three terms. More than three, we call it as polynomial. So, we are not going to study about this. We'll arrange this. Now, based on degree. Based on degree, polynomials are classified into how many types? Based on degree, linear polynomial. What is it? Linear polynomial. Second one, quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. Third one, cubic polynomial. Cubic polynomial. See, we are going to study only linear polynomial and quadratic polynomial. What is linear polynomial? Algebraic expression in which the degree of the polynomial is 1. So, linear polynomial is a polynomial in which degree of the variable is 1. What is quadratic polynomial? Polynomial in which degree of the variable is 2. Cubic polynomial, the polynomial in which degree of the variable is 3. Now, children, we have only linear polynomial and quadratic polynomial. What is linear polynomial? As I said just now, it's a polynomial in which highest degree of the variable is 1. What is the standard form of a linear polynomial? I'll arrange this, we'll discuss one by one. Linear polynomial, the standard form is what? Ax plus b is equal to 0. Understood? For example, you take 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. What is the degree of the linear polynomial? 1. What does it mean? it will have 1 0. It will have 1 0. What is the 0 of this polynomial? 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. 2x is equal to minus 4. X is equal to minus 2. Because 2 1s are 2 2s are. Simplify this. Now, if we plot the graph of this linear polynomial, you already studied graphs, no? X-axis, Y-axis, origin. Now, I'll plot the points. 1, 2, 1, minus 1, minus 2. Now, if I plot x is equal to minus 2, point lies on x-axis. What is y coordinate? 0. Now, you take it as A. What is the coordinate of this x comma y? X comma y is minus 2 comma 0. Recapitulate, children. Recall what you have studied in 9th standard. The point A whose coordinate x comma y lies on x-axis. What does it mean? Y coordinate is 0. What the, I will erase this. So, what is this? Or I will write it here on the top. X comma y. What the coordinate? Minus 2 comma 0. If I plot the graph, this is the graph of the polynomial 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. It touches axis at 1 point. Remember this. We are going to study next topic. There, this graph is very, very important. Linear polynomial is a polynomial whose standard form is x plus b is equal to 0. Example, 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. Linear polynomial since degree is 1, it has only 1 0. X is equal to minus 2. What do you mean by 0 of the polynomial? In this polynomial, what is that? 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. You put any value for x. When you put any value for x, answer should be 0. Then the value substituted is called 0 of the polynomial. What is the 0 of the polynomial? 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 2. How do we know? On substituting the value minus 2 for x, the answer is 0. Come here, put minus 2. 2 into minus 2 plus 4. 2 2s are minus 4 plus 4. What the answer, children? P of minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to minus 2 is the 0 of the polynomial. Understood? When you plot the graph of 2x plus 4 is equal to 0, the answer is, when you plot the graph of this 2x plus 4 is equal to 0, the line is a straight line. Again, linear. Answer is there in the question, linear line. What the graph of linear polynomial? Straight line. It touches axis at only 1 point. It also touches x-axis, y-axis here. Don't look at the point where it touches y-axis. Look at the point where it touches x-axis. It touches axis at 1 point. What does it mean? It has 1 0. What is that? X is equal to minus 2. Therefore, it is linear polynomial whose highest degree is 1. It has only 1 0. These are very, very important, confusing terms. That's why again and again I am highlighting these points. Now we will go to quadratic polynomial. Remember all these points, children. Now we will go to quadratic polynomial. What is quadratic polynomial? It's a polynomial in which highest degree of the variable is 2. Quadratic polynomial. What is quadratic polynomial? It's a polynomial in which highest degree of the variable is 2. What the standard form? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. What the standard form of a quadratic polynomial? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. See here. Degree 1 is there, constant term is there, Degree 2 also is there. What the highest degree of this polynomial? 2. Therefore, it is quadratic polynomial. How many zeros it has got? Quadratic polynomial has 2 zeros. 2 zeros. Understood? Yeah. So, now if we plot the graph of this quadratic polynomial, what the nature of the graph? See children, roughly draw the graph, x-axis, y-axis, origin O. Isn't it? Now, for linear polynomial, what we got the graph? Straight line. I took an example of 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. The 0 was x is equal to minus 2. Here, when we plot the graph, it will be like this. It touches x-axis at how many points? Let us call it as A. Let us call it as B. Call this point as C. Now the graph, which is of the form V shape, it touches x-axis at how many points? 2 points. It touches y-axis also at a point C. We are not bothered about the point it touching y-axis. We are only bothered about where it touches x-axis. At how many points it touches x-axis? 2 points. Therefore, it has got 2 zeros. Why it has got 2 zeros? The graph represents quadratic polynomial whose highest degree is 2. This is the nature of the graph. It need not be V children. It can be U shape also. It can be like this. But it should touch x-axis at 2 points. Understood? See, it can be inverted U also. Again, I am reiterating, many children get confused. This comes for MCQ 1 mark. Understood? See, it is touching x-axis at 2 points. It is touching y-axis also. Many children, they say it is 3 points. No, you should not consider the point where the graph touches y-axis. You should take into consideration the points where it touches x-axis. Understood, children? So, we studied about linear polynomial and quadratic polynomial. Children, now our next topic, why zeros of polynomial are important. Understood? Yeah. Now, again come to quadratic polynomial. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Yeah. What are the zeros of the polynomial? So, zeros of the polynomial nothing but solutions of the polynomial. The x value, when you substitute in this equation, answer should be 0. You may be getting confused. I'll take an example. Take an example of quadratic polynomial. X square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now factorize. What you will get? X square plus, when you split the middle term, what are the two numbers we get? 3x and 2x. 3 plus 2, 5. 3 2s are 6. 3 and 2 are the two terms. When you split the middle term, 5. Now, group them. What you will get? X into x plus 3 plus 2 into x plus 3 is equal to 0. Either x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. We have got two factors. That's why it's two quadratic. It's a quadratic equation with degree 2. What does it imply? X is equal to minus 3 or x is equal to minus 2. These are the two zeros of the quadratic polynomial. Again, come back to our topic. Why zeros of the polynomial are important? I said quadratic polynomial has two zeros. Let it be x is equal to alpha, x is equal to beta. Here, let alpha be minus 3 and beta be minus 2. First point, they help us to find the factors. What is the x value here? Alpha value minus 3. And what is the beta value? Minus 2. Minus 3 and minus 2 are two zeros, children. Now, shift it again. X plus 3 into x plus 2. These two zeros help us to find what? They help us to find the factors of the given quadratic polynomial. X square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Then what are the factors? X plus 3 and x plus 2. Because x is equal to minus 3, x is equal to minus 2 are the two zeros. Thus one point, why zeros of the polynomial are important. Once again, why zeros of polynomial are important? These two zeros help us to find the factors of the given quadratic polynomial. What the another reason? Again children, I will rub this. Already we discussed in my previous topic. If we plot the graph of this polynomial, which polynomial? X square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. On substituting the value x is equal to minus 3, x is equal to minus 2, we get answer 0. Therefore, minus 3 and minus 2 are zeros of the polynomial. Come back. Now plot the graph. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. If I plot the graph, where they touch? Minus 3 and minus 2. So, if I assume it as 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So, what is the graph? Graph is, see children, this is the graph of this polynomial. What is that? X is equal to minus 3, x is equal to minus 2. The graph touches at 2 points. What are they? Minus 3 and minus 2. First point, the zeros will help us to find the factors. With the help of it, we can find the quadratic equation or quadratic polynomial. It will also come. They will give zeros and they will ask you to find quadratic polynomial. So, it helps us to find the factors with the help of which you can find quadratic polynomial. From that point of view, zeros are very, very important. Second thing, the point where the graph touches x-axis, they denote zeros of the polynomial. Come here. When it is touching graph, one is at minus 2a, this is minus 3. Which is this point? X is equal to minus 3, x is equal to minus 2. Again I am reiterating children, this is the concept. You should remember why zeros of polynomial are important. They will not ask these questions why zeros of polynomial are important, but you must understand why they help us to find the factors and zeros of the polynomial, with the help of which you can find the factors, with the help of which you can find quadratic required polynomial. Children, now we will discuss quadratic polynomial. What is quadratic polynomial? Already we discussed that linear polynomial. I told you quadratic. What is quadratic polynomial also? What is quadratic polynomial? A polynomial of degree 2. What is the standard form of a quadratic polynomial? Ax square plus bx plus c is a quadratic polynomial. Understood? What does it mean? Degree of the variable is 2. What was the standard form of a linear polynomial? Ax plus b, where degree is 1, it will have one solution or 1 0. Quadratic polynomial, highest degree of the variable x is 2, it will have 2 zeros. Okay students? Yeah. So, which are the 2 zeros of the polynomial here? We will call it as alpha and beta. Be the 2 zeros. 2 zeros of the quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. So quadratic polynomial has 2 zeros. Again and again I am telling children, because it will come for 1 mark in MCQ also, or they will ask what is quadratic polynomial, or in MCQs a quadratic polynomial has dash zeros. They will give 4 options. You have to select option which has 2 zeros. Understood? Now when you plot the graph of this quadratic polynomial, already I discussed, yeah, it touches the graph at how many points? See here, it will be a shape of U. Not necessarily it should have the U shape. See here, it can have V shape. It can have V shape. It can have any shape. Any shape. Don't get confused. It should touch at how many points? It should touch how many points? See here, graph. Come to this graph. First graph. The graph touches x-axis at 2 points. These 2 points, A and B, they denote what? Zeros of the polynomial. Next topic we'll discuss. Keep this point in mind. So now graph is touching y-axis also, but don't take it into consideration. So we look at only the point where the graph touches x-axis. They represent zeros of the polynomial. Come to the second graph. Come to this second graph. So it touches x-axis at how many points? 2 points. So it touches y-axis also. Don't consider it. Now this one touches x-axis at 2 points. This also represents what? Quadratic polynomial. Understood, children? See. Now this also touches x-axis. Figure 3. This is figure 4. That's it about quadratic polynomial. Again, I'll revise. What is quadratic polynomial? A polynomial in which highest degree of the variable is 2. What is the standard form of quadratic polynomial? Children, ax square plus bx plus c. Where this alpha and beta, what do they do? Just we have taken that alpha and beta be the two zeros means what? We have assumed that alpha and beta be the two zeros of the polynomial. This concept is used in next chapter, quadratic equation also. When I make video on quadratic equation, I will again remind you of these points. Very easy. When you are studying polynomial, same time you are studying quadratic equation also. It's a very easy topic, scoring topic. Simultaneously we are studying quadratic equation also when we are studying polynomials. When I am going to next topic, quadratic equation, then we are recalling our points what we are studied in polynomial. So standard form of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c, where alpha and beta be the two zeros, means it has two roots, two zeros or two solutions. If you plot the graph of quadratic polynomial, what is this? Here it shows U shape. Need not be U shape, but the graph should touch x-axis at 2 points. So here come here. It looks like V shape. What is this? V shape. It touches x-axis at 2 points. They represent two zeros. What is this? What is this? So it looks like inverted U. It touches x-axis at 2 points. They denote the zeros of the polynomial. Come here. This also denotes two zeros. That's about quadratic polynomial, children. Our next topic is zeros of the polynomial. Why they are important? Children, our next topic is relationship between zeros and coefficients of a polynomial. This is the last topic in this chapter. Again, it's a scoring topic. Yeah, we know quadratic polynomial. What's quadratic polynomial? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. It is a quadratic polynomial. Now here divide by a. What you will get? X square plus b by a x plus c by a is equal to 0. What are the zeros of this polynomial? X is, I will write it this side. X is equal to alpha and x is equal to beta. Be the two zeros of the polynomial. We already discussed in our previous topic. I told you, children, why zeros of the polynomial are important? They help us to find the factors of the polynomial. X is equal to alpha, x is equal to beta. Two numbers are equal. What is the difference between these two numbers? Take alpha to this side. X minus alpha is equal to 0 and x minus beta is equal to 0. Now these are the two factors. Yeah. Now on multiplying these two factors, what do we get? X minus alpha into x minus beta. X into x, x square. X into minus beta x. Minus alpha into x, alpha x. Minus into minus plus alpha into beta, alpha beta. Now simplify like terms. they have got x common. X square minus of so common, take it outside. X alpha plus beta is equal to 0. Now you call this as equation number 1. Call this as equation number 2. Okay. Now what are alpha and beta? Zeros of the polynomial. Alpha plus beta means what? Sum of zeros. Now comparing equation 1 and 2. What is equation 1? X square plus b by ax plus c by a is equal to 0. What is equation 2? X square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. Now compare these two equations, children. What do we get? Now x square cancel. X gets cancelled. What is left here? What the x coefficient here? B by a. What is x coefficient here? Minus of alpha plus beta. So minus of alpha plus beta is equal to b by a. What does it imply? Shift this minus sign to the RHS. What do we get? Alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. What is c by a? Alpha beta. What is alpha beta? C by a. I'll write it same thing. Dear children, you need not have to memorize all these things. Not required. This is not required to memorize. Just you have to remember what are alpha and beta. Again, two zeros of the quadratic polynomial. Because it has got degree 2, it will have two zeros, alpha and beta. Then alpha plus beta, sum of the zeros minus b by a. Alpha beta, product of the zeros, c by a. This is what you have to remember, children. Based on this, you have to, whenever questions are given, based on that, take alpha and beta, solve it. This will be 2 or 3 mark question. Very easy to score. Okay? Yeah. Now we'll take an example. I'll erase everything except this alpha beta. Okay, children. Now take a quadratic polynomial. What is it? X square plus 5x plus 6. Find the zeros of the polynomial. Very interesting. See here. Now already I took this example and I found the sum. What is, you split the middle term, what you will get? 3x and 2x. 3 plus 2, 5. 3 into 2, 6. So what do I write here? 3x plus 2x plus 6 is equal to 0. Find the factors. Now pair x plus 3, x square plus 3x and 2x plus x. What is common here? X into x plus 3 plus 2 into x plus 3. And arrange this and write it here. What are alpha and beta? Two zeros of the polynomial. Alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. Alpha beta is equal to c by a. So the question will be like this. Find the zeros of this polynomial. X square plus yx plus 6 is equal to 0 and verify the relationship between zeros and coefficients. Yeah, come here. Now one common factor is what? X plus 3 into x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 3, x is equal to minus 2. Yeah. What is this? Minus 3, alpha. Alpha is minus 3, beta is minus 2, children. Now come here. What are the values of a, b, c? You remember now? What is the standard form of quadratic equation? Ax square plus bx plus c. What is a value? What is a value? 1. What is b value? 5. From this equation. What is c value? 6. Come here. Check whether it tallies or not. If they tally, our answers are right. Yeah. What is alpha? Minus 3. What is beta? Minus 2. Minus 3. Minus 2. Minus 2 means plus or minus 2. Plus into minus. Minus. Minus 3. Minus 2. What is the answer? Minus 5. B by A. Minus. What is the value of B? 5. What is A value? 1. What is it equal to? Minus 5. LHS is equal to RHS. Hence tallies. What is our alpha beta value? What is alpha? Minus 3. What is beta? Minus 2. I'll put the values here also. So, what is alpha? I have to put it. Minus alpha minus beta here. What is alpha? Minus 3. What is beta? Minus 2. I am checking for alpha beta. What is C value? 6. 6 by 1. C by A. Minus into minus plus. LHS is equal to RHS. Hence it is true. What the sum of the zeros? Alpha plus beta minus 5. What the product of the zeros? 6 is equal to 6. Alpha beta which is equal to 6. What is sum of zeros? Minus 5 is equal to minus 5. Hence it tallies. This is the relationship between zeros and coefficient. See children, now I will do in the reverse direction. Question will be given. Now, what the question given now? A quadratic polynomial is given. We split the middle term. Same concept will apply next chapter, quadratic equation. Once again I am reiterating, this is damn easy chapter, not easy. Polynomial, continuation of this is quadratic equation, not continuation. Already quadratic equation, we studied 75%. Now, example I took x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Split the middle term, we get 3x and 2x. When we factorize, we get x plus 3, x plus 2 are the factors, minus 3, minus 2 are the zeros, which are nothing but alpha is minus 3, beta is minus 2. Just now, I derived this formula, children, isn't it? You need not have to derive. Just remember, what are alpha and beta? Zeros. Sum of the zeros is minus b by a, product of the zeros is c by a. We substituted the values and we verified that alpha beta is minus b by a, alpha beta is c by a. Very easy, isn't it, children? 2 or 3 mark question. Now, I will do reverse. Now, see children, beauty of this sum. Beauty of this sum. Now, question will be like this. Question will be like this. Now, a quadratic polynomial is given. We found alpha beta and we verified the relationship between alpha and beta. Now, question will be like this. If alpha and beta are minus 3 and minus 2, find quadratic polynomial. Find quadratic polynomial. You have to find quadratic polynomial. Yeah. Now, what is it? X squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Where zeros are given, now we have to find the solution. What is alpha? Minus 3. And what is beta? Minus 2. Dear children, so with the help of standard form of quadratic equation, I derived an equation. You remember, what is that? X squared minus of alpha plus alpha beta is equal to 0. What is this? Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Standard form of quadratic equation. When alpha and beta are given, dear children, you have to remember this equation. That's it. And substitute the values. So, when alpha and beta are given, which are the two zeros, again and again I am reiterating, store in your mind the God given computer. Alpha and beta are what? Two zeros. So you have to remember the equation x square minus of alpha plus beta plus alpha beta is equal to 0. Now put the values. That's it. X square minus of what is alpha? Minus 2 plus alpha is minus 3. Doesn't matter whether you put alpha or beta first. Then plus of minus 3 minus 2 is equal to 0. What is this? X square minus 3 minus 2 minus 5 into x. I forgotten here. X square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. This is the standard form of equation you have to remember. Minus 3 minus 2 minus 5. Minus into minus plus 5x plus minus into minus plus into plus are written in advance. 6 is equal to 0. Very beautiful question, isn't it, children? See, x square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. The quadratic equation is given. We have verified relationship between zeros and coefficient. What are the zeros here? Minus 3 minus 2 we got by splitting the middle term. And we check verified the relationship between zeros and coefficients. Then question is reversed. Now alpha and beta are given, which are minus 3 minus 2. You have to find out the quadratic equation. See, we arrived at the same answer. Isn't it, children? We'll take a small break and we'll continue. Dear children, I took an example of x square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0, and we verified relationship between zeros and coefficients. Now zeros are given, minus 3 and minus 2. What do they represent? Two zeros, which you have assumed as alpha and beta. Then you have to remember equation x square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. Dear children, please remember, most of you do mistake. You write ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, standard form of quadratic equation, and you get stuck and struggle and leave the sum there only. So please remember this equation. Once again and again I reiterate, x square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. This equation you have to remember when zeros are given, minus 3 and minus 2. Another tricky question I will solve now, children. Please notice it carefully. What the question says: find a quadratic polynomial, each with the given numbers as the sum of the zeros and product of zeros. Even this is given easier. What is given? Sum of the zeros. Sum of the zeros. Here 1 by 4 is given, comma, minus 1 is given. Dear children, what is this? 1 by 4? 1 by 4 is not alpha, and beta is not minus 1. What is it? Minus 1 by 4 is sum of the zeros, alpha plus beta, given. What is given? Given sum of the zeros, alpha plus beta, 1 by 4. 1 by 4. What is alpha beta? Minus 1. Product of the zeros. This is even easier than the previous question. Here, previous question, what was given, children? Alpha is minus 3, beta is minus 2. I said you have to remember x square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. Substitute the values alpha, beta, add it, then alpha beta multiply product. Here it's even easier, only one step. What you have to remember? Equation x square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. Children, x square minus of sum of the zeros, ready-made answer given, 1 by 4. Alpha is not 1 by 4, minus 1 is not beta. 1 by 4 is alpha plus beta, ready-made answer. Substitute here, plus alpha beta minus 1. That's it. Even if you stop it here, you will get the marks. Or simplify, one more step, not difficult. What you will get now, children? Take LCM. 1 by 4 is the denominator 4, isn't it? Take LCM. This becomes 4x square minus x plus into minus minus 4 is equal to 0. Again simplify, children. You will get the same answer. What is that? If you find alpha plus beta, you will get the same answer. Because standard form. Remember, ax square plus bx plus c, x square coefficient should be 1. Here, I divide this by 4 to find the alpha and beta. Understood? Now, when alpha plus beta 1 by 4, alpha beta minus 1 is given, this is the end of the question. Find quadratic polynomial. This is the required quadratic polynomial. Now children, I will do reverse. What is it? Out of my own personal interest, I am doing this. What is this? Given 4x square minus x minus 4. Find the sum of the zeros. Find the sum of the zeros, or you find zeros alpha and beta. What you have to do here? What you have to do here? Divide by 4. What you will get? X square minus 1 by 4x minus 1. Again we get the same equation. See children. So what we have to do? What we have to do? Now sum of the zeros, you have to find product of the zeros, or you find alpha and beta. Alpha and beta. Then you can find the zeros of the polynomial. Understood? Thank you children. This is the end of the topic, polynomials. Scoring topic 6 to 8 marks it carries. Revise it. Whenever you have doubt, pause my video, get your concept clarified. Any other topic required, put it in your comment box. Whatever you require, I will teach that and make videos on the same topic. Thank you.